Another crazy Dan Harris experiment. You know, you probably have had enough of these things. This is the swarm from my previous video, the first swarm of the season. Nice size swarm. It's been here now for 2.5 days. They've moved in, so I think they're settled. I doubt if the queen's even begun to lay yet, but if she has, you know, those eggs are probably just eggs. So there isn't any cap brood in this thing. It's a dreary, overcast, cool morning. It's 45 degrees out, so it's an ideal temperature to do an oxalic acid vapor treatment. And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to then, this is a solid bottom board, but I'm going to put a sticky sheet on the bottom of it afterwards, leave it for a week. You know, theoretically, this ought to knock down 90-something% of the mites that came with that swarm. Since they're all phoretic, all the bees are in, there isn't any brood. I mean, we ought to be covered. Let's see how many mites we drop. It'll give us a good sense of how many traveled with this particular swarm. This swarm, by the way, was from a hive. The queen is a 2017 VSH queen, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, whether we get 10 mites or 1,000. So here we go. In case you've never seen one of these, Daydent sells them. They're outrageously expensive, these sheets. You know, you can use contact paper. I've got some contact paper, but I don't know where it is right now, and I knew where this was. So what I'm going to do is, it's an adhesive. These things cost $3 a piece, no, $4 a piece. This may be the last one I have. Clearly, this is what they're designed for. They're not worth $4, but, you know, it's what they're designed to do. And they do work. I've used them, and they're really pretty cool. And if they were like 50 cents a sheet, I'd use them a lot. So you have the sticky sheet, and that thing's sticky as the dickens. And then you have a mesh that you stick on top of it. And when we're done, that's what I'm going to do. The mesh keeps the bees from getting stuck. But I guarantee you those mites get stuck too well. Everything sticks, doesn't it? This mesh then keeps the bees from getting stuck on it, hopefully. Sometimes they get a few in there, but we'll put that on the bottom when we're done with the treatment. My oxalic acid vaporizer, the Super Deluxe 1 gram scoop, and we might even put just a little more in, just to make sure we really tox those Varroa out good. And of course, it wouldn't be complete. Maybe it would be complete. Have a timer, a little kitchen timer. There it is. And my kitchen timer, of course. So, here we go. Battery's hooked up. The oxalic acid is in, and that the frame with the drawn comb is just about in the middle of this hive. Y'all better get away from there. I can feel that. All right, turn it on. We're going to run this guy for, right at 3 minutes. And don't worry, you won't have to suffer through it all. I'll trim out the 3 minutes here on the video so you don't have to sit through it. See if they've settled down a little bit. Seem to have. But I did put a veil on because they were having a dialogue just a second ago. I put a little duct tape on that to make sure that those edges, or at least to help make sure that those edges stay down. Let me put that in like so. We'll leave it in there for a week and pull it out. I'll do a count and we'll see how many mites rode in on that swarm. Like I say, just another one of my crazy experiments, but what the heck, huh?